Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video talking about reading in general and my reading goals this year and what books I've been reading recently. Well, first I think I need to give context. I mean, I'm not a reader. I only started reading maybe like 2 months ago or this year generally. And yeah, I picked up a book Fahrenheit 451 and I never stopped reading since then. I don't know if it was just the premise, but mostly how I felt during reading that book the first time, it felt great, so I want to keep doing it. And yeah, so if you are in like a reading slump or you don't read, I'd say try picking up something that feels natural. I mean, I'm lucky that Fahrenheit 451 was just natural because it's actually a really good book talking about why we should be reading books in the first place. So yeah, if you haven't given that a shot, you definitely should. Next is next book I read after that is what locked me in, Red Rising. It's the start of a series. I'm pretty sure there's like 7 books, or I'm not sure how many, but I'm on the first, and that was great. That was actually so peak. Like in the same way I was enjoying Dune for the first time I saw it. I watched the movie. I felt like the same excitement because the world building is just so immense and the characters are so good, and you really just follow this guy in his journey. And honestly, it's just super interesting and captivating. But this is when I found out, or after this book is when I found out I realized I really like fantasy books in general and just good world building from authors. So yeah, I'm definitely planning to finish that series. I After reading that Red Rising though, I decided I wanted to read a standalone and I read Project Hail Mary, which was not my type of book at first because of all of like the science and some of those terms are really foreign, but I read it the same week as like I watched Interstellar for the first time for the 10th year anniversary. So space exploration was kind of like fresh in my mind, and yeah, generally like it was just a good topic. And I'd say for this book, I really enjoyed it as a standalone because it kind of gives you different perspective on like just humans and space in general. Because yeah, it was a. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's a journey and that one side character is so goated. Like, yeah, I don't want to spoil much, but read Project Hail Mary. Then, right now, I'm currently reading. Oh, by the way, I didn't explain. Sorry, I just went on a tangent. But I read most of my books in a Kindle. But, like, Project Hail Mary, I read hardbound, which was really dope. And yeah, right now on my Kindle, I'm reading Sword of Kaigen. That has super good reviews. And I'm kind of like I have other stuff going on, so I'm kind of reading through that slowly. But yeah, it's really good also, and I'd say it's just the thing with Sword of Kaigen is it gets kind of slow at some parts for me, and that's okay. But that's why I'm also like going through it kind of slow because like I take maybe like day breaks in between. But yeah, Sword of Kaigen really good so far. Sorry, I feel like I just rambled about all the books I've read so far this year, but yeah. So far, Fahrenheit 451, I'll rate that like a 5 out of 5, dude. The fact that it kicked off this reading habit for me like that, I mean, what more can I say? Great book. Red Rising, also 5 out of 5 because I just can't wait to get through like the following books. I mean, the thing with the Red Rising series is that the books are so dense and long, but I really don't mind because honestly, that book is a type of book where like you don't want to stop reading and like it actually keeps you up. And yeah, so after that, I'd rate Project Hail Mary a solid like 4 out of 5. Yeah, like I said, the term sometimes being used were not that like similar or familiar with me, and also just in general when it came to the way the book was paced, sometimes it felt like it was harder to get through, but that's fine. So hopefully that wasn't too much of a ramble because I'm gonna be talking about the books I plan to read after Sword of Kaigen, or like just the books I have lined up in general. And actually, I'm debating between continuing the Red Rising series or reading Daisy Jones and the Six after Sword of Kaigen because yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of want to like veer away from the fantasy world real quick, and Daisy Jones and the Six sounds like a compelling way to bring myself back to earth. But yeah, Daisy Jones and the Six is my TBR. And then after Daisy Jones, I for sure want to continue Red Rising. So Golden Sun. I actually just want to get through that whole series as fast as possible, but I space it out on purpose because that's how good the books are. Like I just look forward to. I'm so looking forward to reading the next book in the series, and yeah, very hyped for that. And then after the Red Rising series, I plan to start the Mistborn series by Brian Sanderson, and I've heard like great things about this. Like people call this guy the GOAT author, and I really like fantasy, so the way it sounds right now, that might be my like peak series, just based on the reviews and what people are saying about it. So the only thing about that series apparently is that the books are so long, but I think the Red Rising books are also pretty long naman. So yeah. Then for the last book I have lined up is Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. I realized that I enjoy fiction a lot, but I'm also at a point in my reading journey, even though it's kind of early, where I can capitalize on like actually learning and reading nonfiction again. Because for a while, when it came to reading, I would only try reading self-help books because I felt like I would only read for like the value of it. But now I realize that reading is just like a perfect hobby, and it's just like a fun low energy habit, you know. That's why I love it so much. So yeah, those are the books I want to read. And now let's get into my reading goals for the year. So for the first, it's kind of vague, but solidify reading as a habit. I mean, I read pretty much every day now, but you know, it's pretty human to just go through phases of like up and down. And I want to make sure that even though like I kind of fall off like the habit or like the hype or the momentum of reading right now, I want to be able to continue it because it's something that actually grounds me and helps me like go through my day and become a better person. So yeah, need to solidify that hopefully by the end of the year. And then next is more fun one. I want to visit more bookstores, or just like, you know, bookstores that are pretty, not just like fully booked or anything like that. I want to visit bookstores that are known to be, or I just want to visit bookstores period, and like cruise around and just look at books and maybe pick books based on covers and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, if you guys know any like really nice bookstores in the Philippines, I would definitely love to check them out because yeah, I want to expand this hobby to something more than just like reading on my Kindle and like just being limited to myself, you know. I feel like visiting bookstores will also be a good way to make sure that I'm remembering that this hobby is kind of like a whole world thing, or it's not just for me, but there's other people in it also. And yeah, it's also just like a sightseeing thing, you know, getting out in the world. So if you have any recommendations, please comment them or hit me up or anything, because I would love to visit really nice bookstores. And then last, I want to read at least 10 books that I'm not so comfortable with, like in the genre. I'm talking about like maybe things like I'm not so well versed in, but I'm interested in. Maybe like psychology and philosophy. I mentioned I wanted to read Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, and yeah, I mean, now that I'm like moving forward in my reading journey, I don't want to stay comfortable also in the types of books I'm reading. Like obviously I love fantasy books and like fiction books, and they're fun to read, but I also want to make it a habit to challenge myself in terms of reading, because yeah, I mean, it's a skill that I want to develop, and it's generally something that I know can teach me a lot. So yeah, I feel like I rambled that whole video, but guys, I love reading. Reading's been like one of my main things recently, and I don't want it to stop because I'm genuinely enjoying so much. And yeah, I hope you guys get the same enjoyment I do. And I think I'm gonna start more posting about I think I'm gonna start posting more about reading videos in general, because I want to keep track of what I'm reading and things I've read. So yeah, I guess my one takeaway for this video is read Red Rising, guys. That shit's peak. Like, I don't want to spoil anything and get into it more, but it's about this guy who lives in a different planet, and then he finds out that life isn't just working and like slavery, and that there are people who are controlling them, and it's amazing. It's actually deep and amazing. It's a long read though, but yeah. Do I have anything else more to say? Read books. Read books, everyone. And yeah, this is one of the first type of videos where I'm not like vlogging or like talking about myself. I'm talking about something I like. So yeah, hopefully you guys are willing to keep supporting me with this, and I'm gonna have so much fun talking about books and reading in general. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and have a great. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for the support. I don't know how to close this video. I don't know. I guess I just got so excited. Now my brain's like going all over the place. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the support recently. I've actually felt like I've been creating stuff I wanted to create, so I'm very happy about that. And yeah, I'm gonna keep posting. So stay tuned, everyone.